Starship Simulator. This is a big one, 10 minutes.
Hello, and thank you for taking the time to check out Starship Simulator.
This guy has
My
a
name's
really
Dan
smooth
Gerbier,
voice.
and I'm the developer behind the project.
Okay.
Now, I imagine quite a few of you might be thinking,
Looks
does
very
the space
peaceful.
sim genre really need another new title? Won't this just end up being another clone of what's already out there, or a simple rehashing of existing ideas?
I like this guy.
Well, hopefully, by the
He's
end
legit.
of this video, you'll agree that we do have something unique to bring to the table, which a lot of space sim fans, myself included, have been wanting for a very long time.
Okay. What you
Put
got?
simply, Starship Simulator is my answer to one simple question.
Yeah.
What would I do if someone handed me the keys to a real, fully working starship?
Good question.
Without any hesitation, I would just pick a random star in the sky and then fly off to explore its mysteries.
Nice.
And then along the way, I'd be nosing around every inch of my new vessel to learn exactly how it all works.
So a bit of
And
the
that really
outside, a
sums
bit
up
on the
what this game
inside.
is all about at face value. You've got a fully working starship, a whole galaxy to explore, and the freedom to fly anywhere you want just to see what's out there.
Nice.
But if we dig deeper, there is of course a whole lot more going on under the hood. Let's start with the ship itself.
Okay.
Growing up, I really wanted to be an architect, and despite ending up working in IT, that interest in architecture never really went away. So when it came to designing
That
and building a
explains the walls.
starship, I really wanted to design and build a starship. Now, in a typical video game environment, there's generally nothing going on behind the walls and floors. It's actually just smoke and mirrors to sell the illusion of a real solid location.
But this
That's
one has
absolutely
something.
not the case here.
Okay.
Delve behind any wall panel and you'll find the ship's genuine structural framework, all designed in CAD software right down to the individual bolts and weld lines.
Wow.
You'll also find miles of pipes, cables and conduits that are all fully simulated and critical to the function of the ship's systems.
Okay, so this is more of a
For example,
simulation than a
turning off
game,
these breakers
basically.
will kill power to the bridge, causing the lights and consoles to genuinely stop receiving the simulated electrical current from their attached cables.
Interesting.
If you pay attention to the readout when the breakers are turned back on, you can see the electrical draw increases as expected. This means the
Wow.
location where your ship
Even the lights,
takes
like,
damage
they-
naturally becomes really important.
Doesn't just turn all on at
Because
once.
that
It
can
actually
make the difference
follows
between losing a few
one after the
lights
other.
or
Reminds
losing
me
your
of Star
entire
Trek,
tail
obviously.
drive.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
As you can imagine, if you're playing as an engineer, you'll certainly have a lot to be getting on with.
Is this
We
multiplayer?
intend for every role aboard the ship to be approached with the same amount of depth and attention to detail. Speaking of jobs to do, we're planning to include 8 basic roles to begin with, from the captain to a simple passenger who's merely tagging along for the ride. Each department aboard the ship will have
Need
a
more
role and task
customization, but
list,
it's a start, you
where
know.
both players and the NPC crew alike will work through those tasks to keep the ship up and running smoothly. The
I can
tasks
see this,
themselves
like
won't
somebody
be
taking this and making a Star
they'll be
Trek mod.
generated on the fly, depending on
You know,
the ship's
obviously didn't have the
actual
license to create that, but it
Taking
looks
engineering
very
as an
much
example
like
again, if a
like
component
a
is
spaceship.
damaged,
Hello.
then
Yeah.
a task will be generated for that specific component to be investigated. A player or an NPC then picks up that task on a first-come, first-served basis and then works to resolve the issue. Don't worry if you have no interest in engineering.
Engineering room.
The NPC crew members will actually be fully capable of running any of
Okay,
the
so they
ship's
can run your ship.
departments
The,
entirely on
the
their own.
NPCs can just do all
If
the
you
jobs
just
for
want
you.
to be a
Gotcha.
pilot, or you just want to sit in command, then you don't need to worry about what's happening
pretty cool.
outside of your chosen role.
But again, is this multiplayer?
In
Can you
fact,
do like
what
20
happens
people, you know?
next is really cool. If you choose to play as a passenger,
Yeah.
then you actually won't have any jobs to do at all.
Oh, you can just
Instead, an NPC captain will take control of the ship.
just go wherever
It
they
can be a
decide
massive firefight
to go.
happening right outside the window, while you're just sat there in the bar sipping your favourite space beverage.
Nice.
You can just be like, nah, it's not my problem. Crew can deal with that.
Sounds very
The
relaxing.
NPC crew members also play a big part in making the ship feel more lived in, with each of them having their own lives aboard the ship. They'll have their own crew quarters, their own shift patterns, they'll eat, drink, and even use the bathroom if they need to. You won't need to
I
worry
was
about
gonna say, this is a
micromanagement.
simulator.
They'll just
It's
happily
part
get
of the
on with
name.
it without the player
Jeez.
having to get involved. We're
I did
hoping
say it.
players will form a strong attachment to their new home among the stars, so we're including many customization options.
Yeah, can you
right out.
customize the ship? I was gonna ask that.
You can customize your ship's name and registry number,
Okay.
and this updates in various places around the ship. You can change the interior decor, like the default lighting hues, or the
Nice.
materials used on the floors and walls.
It's very nice.
You can customize the colors of the UI panels to match your chosen theme, and you can even enable ship-wide seasonal decorations depending on the time of
You
year.
got a star. That's pretty nice.
We'll be expanding what's possible with this over time, but cosmetic options such as these will always be
Yeah,
free
so you can
and
like change, you know,
included
the
as part of
chairs,
base
the
experience.
panels, like every, not just
The
colors,
ship's
but the
interior
actual.
will also be highly interactive, with every
Wow.
button on every panel performing some form of tangible action. I actually find it quite annoying in games when you're surrounded by buttons or switches that just don't do anything. So in our game, every single button will serve a practical purpose. There will also be hundreds of physical items that you can pick
I was gonna
up
say that you got
interact with,
physics.
and they will remain where you left them thanks to our object permanence system. That means if you find a cool looking alien trinket on your travels, then you can put it literally anywhere on your ship and it will just stay there, continuing
We
to
need that
evolve
watermelon
until
on the
you
bridge.
decide otherwise. We want players to really feel like they're living and working aboard a huge vessel in deep space, so there'll be plenty to do aboard the ship while you're out exploring the cosmos.
I mean, it's a
And
start.
speaking of exploring, that brings us nicely.
Yeah,
onto
can
the
you?
subject
What can you
of
do
the
with
galaxy
exploration? Can you
itself.
actually go on planets and
Just
stuff?
like the
I
ship,
doubt
the
it.
galaxy is also
Oh.
being built as realistically as possible, using real astrophysics and a true one-to-one scale. We can't explore the real Milky Way, so we want our simulated version to be the next best thing, with a realistic physical structure and scientifically accurate galactic regions. Every system you visit should be scientifically plausible and packed with everything you would expect to find in any star system.
But then again, anything is
Stargazing
possible in
comets
space,
to
you
an
know?
array of Kuiper Belt style objects.
A lot of things are
We also have
impossible in
black
space and they
holes,
still exist.
protoplanetary disks, magnetars, nebulae, and
nice.
even naturally forming wormholes.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about the wormholes, because with them being entirely procedural, even I won't know where they are or where they lead to. We're all
Where they
exploring
lead
the
to?
same shared
You
galaxy,
can go inside it?
so I'm looking forward to seeing some community map-making projects. Our simulated Milky Way is also going to be packed with life, with procedurally generated alien cultures scattered throughout the entire galaxy.
Okay.
If a planet or moon is capable of supporting liquid water, then it will run further calculations to generate life on its surface, and also in space if the culture there is advanced enough.
Okay.
Depending on how old the planet is, its life could be anything from simple bacteria to a highly advanced spacefaring culture with motivations far beyond human understanding.
That's a lot of
Alien
promises.
cultures will also have a wide array of procedural attributes that will shape their reaction to your
That
presence.
sounds like a very
They could
large
be
project.
pacifistic space hippies or bloodthirsty psychopaths that just want to watch the galaxy burn. We'll also be procedurally generating their
There you
political structure, their history, and many other details to make each new culture you encounter different from the last. And that last
So yeah,
point is
it's-
actually very
that's a lot of
important, because
promises.
with a game that focuses entirely on exploration as its main hook, diversity of content is critical to maintain the joy of discovery. We're taking depth of content very seriously, and depending on how well we're funded, our intention is to create a team of developers.
Exactly how well
we
we're funded. Yeah, exactly. That's
100%
exactly it.
just creating new content for the galaxy.
This is also like a, you know,
Personally consider our job complete until
this is
every
an
single
investor's
star system
presentation right
generates
here.
something new and interesting to discover. So how do we actually get out there and find this content? Well, most of the time you'll navigate the galaxy by first scanning the stars in the local vicinity, and then select
The
the
guy
target
spinning
of
around.
interest to send to the helm station. Alternatively, you can just point the ship in any random direction you like, and then spin up the FTL drive to see what you might stumble across.
Cool.
Our galaxy is a continuous, borderless, three-dimensional environment. And that's another important point actually, because if you pay attention to the stars outside of the window, you'll see that they are actually all drifting past in real time.
Yep.
This means we are genuinely traversing galactic space,
Okay.
so we can change direction whilst we're at FTL, or drop to sublight engines anywhere, at any time. Having an entirely physicalized galactic space like this opens the door to numerous possibilities. We could have a stranded alien vessel out here looking for assistance.
Again,
Rogue planets
concepts.
darkness between stars. It also means that multiple forms of FTL travel will be easy to implement in the future, from Alcubierre drives to hyperspace or jump gates. In fact, different alien races will get around using different techniques, and you'll eventually be able to retrofit your ship with their technology.
We're not
So
going to
you
see
can
any,
travel the
but
galaxy
they'll be there
the same way that
eventually.
they do. So
If the
hopefully
budget
that
allows.
gives you some idea of what it is we're building here. There is, of course, a lot more I could go into.
This will be like a good VR
Multiplayer,
game, I feel
VR,
like. Look at it.
planetary landings, or even our planned D&D style Game Master mode for role
Okay.
players. But Claire, my co-director, and more importantly, wife, has insisted
Okay.
that I keep this brief.
The chicken.
So the most important thing to take away from this video
It's a family
is that
business.
this is a space exploration game, designed and built by someone who has spent tens of thousands of hours exploring in all the other big space sims over the years. This is in every way our dream project, and we're
Yeah, I got you.
definitely not stopping until it's done.
Got you.
I'll close by saying a huge thank you again for taking the time to check out Starship Simulator, and I'll see you guys out there exploring the stars.
So yeah, so this is a, like I said, an investor's presentation. You know, you're an investor, you got like $10 million. Would you like to invest in this project? Because what we have so far seems pretty legit, and then we have a ton of ideas to make it much more interesting, right? So like if they said, you know, aliens and, you know, maybe like combat and whatnot, right? but not at the moment. At the moment, you're just in your ship. You can customize a couple of things here and there, and it's like, does the investor see any benefit to this, any money return on this, and if they're willing to invest, right? Was the presentation good enough to like really make you want to participate in this, and you think it's gonna make like $1 billion, like the next Star Citizen or something, right? But like I said before as well, this would be a very, very, very good like Star Trek mod. And who knows what the future holds, right? I'm sure like Star Trek fans are looking at this and they're like, oh my god, like they're salivating. Like this is it. So it looks good. There's some good ideas. I wish these guys all the best. They seem to be very passionate about their project. So like very into it. So I appreciate that, and I wish them all the best. Thank you for watching. Peace.